expensive steel grey lace made from priceless silk stolen from the gut-curdling, terror-fanged black hole spider's web of the intested beta lands. A feat, allow me to explain, that I undertook myself personally in order to indulge my insatiable passion for providing ladies of a Callia-Mammo-Macrociatopygian proclivity with the rarest and most quivering lingerie in the known universe. Huzzah! I might add that voluminously encasing the rolling acres of Elizabeth's tremulous buttocks were her special broderie anglaise rapid entry bloomers. Woven uniquely and bizarrely defying the laws of astroscience from spider thread. Sorry, I'll say that again. From cider thread. Spun from the yeasty fragrance emanating from the fresh-baked plump breads of the imperial Bajorian bakeries. One whiff of which, it is said, is enough to make a man suffer eternal, unquenchable priapism, with nary a hope of ring-splitting release. From then until the very end of time, truly the cruelest of fates. Would you not agree, gentlemen? However, I digress. The Intergalactic Express, which is where we started, had arrived some 4,883 days prior to our departure, and us unwitting chrononauts were about to miss our appointment with the Empress of Outdia. Not for want of time, but for a very surfeit of it, and I was most perturbed. "Elizabeth!" I cried once more. "Unhand that unicorn and desist in your desultory quim-diddling. There is chronologically impropriety afoot, and I won't stand for it." So she instructed the steward to bring me a chair. Neither shall I sit for it, and on that I am most unbending. Elizabeth rolled her eyes, pushed aside the unicorn, reached for a rabbit, and sat on it. As the buzzing got more intense, I knew I'd lost her attention for the next hour or so. There was nothing for it. With a riding crop in one hand and a tin of the finest moustache wax in the other, I mounted my French maid, Gigi, exclaiming, "On y va, mademoiselle, on y va!" And quicker than she could say, "Oh la la, zut alors, even, vous êtes un imbécile, monsieur le roast-beef," I had ridden Gigi past Mars, over the Milky Way, and across a shop full of galaxies. Think about it. We didn't slow down until I pushed and squeezed through the hemorrhoid belt surrounding the dwarf chocolate star, before once more digging in with my best brass spurs and charging full tilt into an unexplored black hole, lamentably laddering her fully fashioned French-heeled fishnet stockings from heel to key in the process. You see, I know my stockings, ladies. Yet leaving her undeniably whimpering in exhilaration. "Ah, Armitage," she panted as we finally arrived at the Imperial Palace. "Vous êtes un homme incroyable, infatigable, insatiable. Encore, mon amour, encore!" "I say, old girl, steady on. Give me another half an hour or so, won't you?" I said, patting her rump. "I've got to go save the universe first." So leaving Gigi with breasts heaving, flanks steaming, and probably unable to sit down for the next year or so, I sprang up the steps to the Empress's palace, pith-helmet cyber guards visibly withered and shrank at my bold advance, as I headed straight for the Imperial throne room, in anticipation of the amorous embrace of the most powerful woman in the universe, the Empress Lay-Me-Down. At the doors to the throne room, I paused. I composed myself. I banked the royalty check. And knocked slowly and portentously. From inside, I heard the flush of the loom. And a few months later, out came from the throne room the Empress Lay-Me-Down, majestically readjusting her imperial ivory drawers. "Spode!" she declaimed. "Empress Lay-Me-Down," quoth I. Oh, all right then, she said, and floored me instantly, straddling my face like the domineering queen that she was. Oh, I'm sorry, she said, I didn't quite catch that. I humphed more emphatically. Oh, sorry, Spode, old bean, but you'll need to try a little harder than that. I can barely understand what you're saying. Try articulating your lips and moving your tongue a bit more. Left a bit, back a bit. In fact, oh! That's the spot. No, don't stop, almost there. That's the ticket. Well done, that man, as you were. Half an hour later, we had concluded our initial negotiations and paused for a post-coital smoke. In my case, a pipe of the finest shag tobacco from the Delta Blues quadrant. Think about it. And in her case, she was being hosed down by a team of Ferengian firefighters, supposedly in order to dampen her ardour. Yet, curiously, they each pumped away on their own individual hoses. And for some reason, she had specified that they should all be half naked and covered in oil. But at least they were all sporting shiny purple helmets. Presumably in order to meet health and safety regulations. They certainly met with Empress Leomidan's approval and soon put their fires out. However, those purple helmets must have been a bit dirty. Otherwise, why would you keep trying to polish them? So, Spode, you devilishly handsome creature, what brings you and your resplendent moustache to Outdeer? Did you get wind of some lively young filly that needs breaking in? Got a whiff from the breeze of some rare and exotic lingerie to sniff out for your collection? I'm sure you've not come all the way down here just to chow down on my bearded oyster and fiddle with my slippery pearl. What? Empress, I intoned. Empress, I come on the gravest mission. I need your help to arrive here at the Imperial Palace at the allotted hour 12 years hence. Rather than now, that scoundrel Cronus the Time Lord has thwarted me again! So, just remind me, Spode, if my old China, why does it matter if you get here now rather than the future? What's this, Empress? Do you not remember? It was you yourself that charged me with this covert mission exactly 12 years ago. You know, the crucial part I had to play in thwarting the relentless advance of Queen Quim of the Kardashian Empire? No, not at all, remind me, she said. You said I was to muster all my cosmic energies, assemble an army of ray-gun-blasting, corset-busting, goggle-wearing steampunks, and track down the evil Quim Kardashian. Then I was to wait until she leaves her rear exposed, force march a column up the Khyber Pass, and take her from behind. Otherwise, we would be condemned to relive these past 12 years for all eternity, trapped in some awful, endless Groundhog Day. Really? Did I? I don't remember. When did I say all this? When? Well, it was the last Tuesday of Mad-Timber, and we were in the Gamma Quadrant, if I remember correctly. I'd left Stokes at Mildew.